Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Sierra and this is Sierra Reads and Writes. On this channel, I love to talk about reading and writing. This video is for Writing Wednesdays. I still don't have a clever idea for each of my I don't even know what to call them. I guess call them like sections. Comes to this one. So first of all, I got my hair done. Finally, I just put it in the bun because it still hurts. You know, for all the black girls out there, you know how it feels when you get actual box braids, not the knotless because my hair's too short, unfortunately. So I had to get the regular ones, and it's still a little tense, some tension. Not too bad though, but I feel like it's a lot easier to have it in the back because as soon as they move, it's a different story, and then I gotta take ibuprofen, which I'm not in the mood for. This is my Rise coffee. I have this about almost every day, and I really just used the container that it came in because it was filled to the top. So there was no point in trying to transfer it to anything else. So, and it's not appealing either. Like the cup and everything, and the layers of it at the top. It's not appealing. It's not cute, but whatever. All right, so for Writing Wednesdays, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my current work in progress, some updates on it, and what I am looking to do moving forward when it comes to Project Leo and Dahlia. So, starting off, I'm almost done with it technically. I actually spent some time one day and I planned out the rest of the book. So like each chapter I have like written down on my ellipsis account like what I want to happen in each chapter because we're getting to the really big muddled middle scene where everything just like kind of blows up during homecoming. So there's about like four chapters centered around that specifically and just the chaosness of it all when Dahlia's ex-boyfriend comes back to campus. So that's what I'm working with towards for the end of the book. So it's about like the total is about 40 chapters. There is an epilogue, and I'm working to do like write a chapter a day. So then I actually have this first draft done by the end of January. So about the 28th, 29th, it'll be done. And so far, it's been really good. It's really been really good. I've written about almost 2,000 words each chapter. And I'm like, I need to slow it down a little bit because I don't want to exceed 90K. I'm like hitting the 60 mark now, and I still have like 15 chapters to write. So I'm trying to slow it down a little bit. But the last chapter I wrote, it went a little bit crazy. So I think it was like almost 2,000 words. I think just like a little bit short of that. But I did end up writing a chapter and a half essentially. And I really just like stopped at that point because I was like, okay, I'm getting tired. And the ideas that I have were flowing, everything was good, and then immediately it just like my social battery, not even my social battery, just like my battery in general from the day just like disappeared, and all I wanted to do was watch my K drama. So I listened to my body, I listened to myself, and I just stopped and watched my K drama while eating dinner. So far the project's going really good. I'm almost done with it. And so the next step really is to just finish it, obviously, and really start to create, I guess, like create a list of things that I know I want to rewrite and observe when it comes to editing. And that's where I'm kind of having my dilemma. I've seen videos and I've like done my own research of, what's the difference between a beta reader and an alpha reader because I'm still new to this space. So I don't know all the technical terms. I don't know what any of them mean. And then doing my research, what I'm leaning more towards is like an alpha reader. And then I've watched other videos. They say, take a break for like 3 months and then you edit yourself and then you get alpha readers. And I don't have 3 months. Like I'm very antsy about this story in a very positive way. Like I really just want to I want to get it out, and I want to figure out if I want to do this self-published or at least like start querying and just put it out there. Like obviously I'm not going to be like, oh my god, I'm going to query and I'm going to get like an agent and become like a best-selling author within this year. Like that's probably not going to happen. But I at least want to get it together to the point where I feel confident in the story to put it out there and just see what happens, because I feel really confident about the story anyway going into it right now. It's just more so of trying to navigate the space as a newer author, I would say, because I do have the other book on Kindle Unlimited that I did self-publish, and that one was just something that I wrote during COVID. It's just a novella. It's really simple, really cute. There's not much meat to it, really. But with this one, there's more layers, I would say, and I feel like this really does convey what kind of stories I want to write. But I'm very impatient, so I want to actively be working on it, but I also do have other stories in mind that relate to the Leo and Dahlia universe. So like I want to do a separate story for her best friend, Zofria, but then I also want to do another one for her dad because he's been through a lot, obviously, within this story. I'm not going to give out a whole bunch of details, but with all that he's gone through, he actually has his assistant Tiffany, who's been like pretty much his like right hand woman for years, and he always just like like loved her like as a friend, truly valued her support and her work ethic. So they're like best friends. So I'm leading to do both of those stories as well. So Zofria would be another I guess they're both new adults, or is it just adults? I'm not really sure because Leo, Dahlia, Zofria, and their friends are all about like 25 ish, 24, 25. And then her dad is older. Obviously, he's in his 50s. So that'll be more of a different genre, I would say, but still, it will be a romance book. So I'm looking to do that as well and kind of make it like a trilogy series. They're going to be standalones. You don't have, it's not going to be like they have to piggyback one off in another. Um, but still, like they're all held in the same universe type of thing. So I'm looking to do those two as well. So with getting Leo and Dahlia out, I want to get it as perfect as I want it to be because no story is going to be perfect. But I just want to get it to the point where I'm like, okay, this is good. I can at least just put it out there and see what happens. Like put it out for do my query letter, put it on Publishers Marketplace, and just see what happens. I'm very much just like I'm open to just anything, just any possibility of what happens with the story, even if it doesn't go anywhere. I'll put it up myself on Kindle Unlimited. I'm currently working on just like promoting it and trying to do the best that I can to just try to get a little bit of a hype around it and just see like where people's heads are at when it comes to a story like this because it is a lot of grief and loss. It's an interracial relationship as well. It's Black and Korean. It really just tried to gauge what I could see happening with this book. But yeah, I feel really confident about it. So I just ranted pretty much. This is very much like a very talkative video. You don't need to be like watching this all that deeply, all that closely. But if you hear anything that you're like, "Ew, I'm interested," type of thing, I will be having links in my description box of alpha readers eventually. So I'll be putting that out there. But I do have a form on my community tab to see if you guys would be interested in me starting like a author newsletter. So if that's something that you're curious about, if you find any of the work that I talk about interesting somewhat, or at least you're following this journey of me writing, go ahead, fill out the form. I'm looking to probably do a newsletter within the next few months or so. I'm trying to find a free version because ain't nobody got no money to be paying for all that. So it needs to be free. Um, but I really just want to see like what is it like out there, because with me being still so new to the space and I'm not like a big booktuber, I'm not a big bookstagrammer either. I'm not a extremely popular author either. I'm just really just gauging to see what if there's any interest, at least just like on the baseline of like, is this something that you're interested in? Like, are you interested in like romance with grief and loss? Like, is this something that you can handle? I just want to see. I'm just curious before, like, really. I don't want to do it like half-assed and put it out there. I just want to actually have like a game plan and really see just how it would do, and just see where people's heads are at, because everyone reads different genres, everybody reads different stories, people have certain triggers, certain books that they don't like to read or don't want to read, which is completely fine. I'm just a nosy bitch. I just like to know where people's heads are at, like, especially for black readers as well, those who read books with black female main characters, because all my books have black female main characters, so I really want to gauge the black audience as well too. So trying to really think of it as more of like a marketing perspective as well too, which is something I'm still very new at, but I'm learning slowly but surely learning. So that's it for like Leo and Dahlia's projects that I'm looking to do in their entire universe as well. Now moving forward, once this draft is done, I will be just jotting down things that I want to edit along the way, hopefully. At least just like bullet points of things that I know that I would like to rewrite, or different scenes, different elements that I need to put in it. But I don't want to spend so much time on it anymore. I've been writing this for about 2 years now, actually. So I feel like this is the best version I'm going to get, and I don't want to keep editing it and keep changing it to the point where it becomes like something I'm very frustrated with, because this is 2 years in the making. Like, the original idea I had is completely different from how it is now. Like, it's been refined so many times. At one point, I wrote 100 page, not even 100 pages. I wrote like 60 pages of this story, and I completely lost that as a Google Doc. Like, it's completely gone. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know where it went, but I can't find it. So this is the version I'm working on now, is the newest version, and I feel like it's the best version that I could make. So I feel like I don't need to keep trying to sculpt it, because then when you try to sculpt something to the point of perfection, you end up making like a minor mistake, and then you try to fix the mistake, and then you just make it even worse, and then the masterpiece that you said that was almost perfect is now completely destroyed. Like, I just want to get to a point where it's just like, okay, this is good, let's see what the response would be like. This is, just gauge what the audience would be like, what the audiences would be like, and what people are interested in the story, and start to actually market it better on my social media to get people interested. So that's really just like the next step for me. In terms of marketing, I am terrible at it. Like, I'll make a post or two, maybe three, and try to like hype up the book, but then I'll immediately get discouraged because it's not being well received. Because obviously, girl, you just posted about it, and also you only have so many followers on Instagram. The algorithm is already a mess too. And also, I feel like with my skill set with Canva, it's very baseline. So there's just certain things that I know that I can do better at when it comes to actually creating posts that look cool, and posts that can increase engagement. So I made a document the other day of all the different ideas I have for posts regarding Leo and Dahlia. That's not the title. I already had the title figured out. It's much better. But I'm just calling it Project Leo and Dahlia because I want to do a post of like the actual title reveal. Like, I want to make it cute. So I made a list of all the different ideas that I have for posts related to them, their relationship, and their friendships, because friendship and found family is like a really huge component of the story, as well as mental health. So just really trying to plan out what kind of posts that I want to put out there for the story and what I want them to look like. Because at first I was literally like, okay, let me just make posts and I'll go straight to Canva and try to throw something together and be like, okay, this looks cute. And then I posted it like three or four different ones. I think it was like meet Dahlia, meet Leo, in like the playlist I created. I think that's the only ones I did. But I want to refine them and tweak them. So if you've seen them, you can just disregard it. I'm gonna do better ones just to like really have like a signature look too, because each story is going to have like signature colors and a signature, not like a complete aesthetic, but just something that really self-identifies their story from the others. So like Zofria and their friend, I'm not going to spoil it, but Zofria and one of their friends, their relationship is going to be like more brighter, vibrant colors because Zofria is really a vibrant person. So I feel like that really conveys their story very well. And then for her dad, it's going to be more of like a minimalistic kind of look, but also some like more modern elements to it too, because as I described Tiffany in the story, she loves like a popped collar. She's very like extravagant but classic in her looks. So I feel like that'll be the aesthetic and color palette for them would be like some like navy, some blues, some grays, some white, blacks, that type of thing would be like their what their post will look like. So when you see, you're like, oh, okay, I remember like this is for this story. So I really want to differentiate the different stories um and how they relate to the characters essentially. That's all that I have for Project Leo and Dahlia. Now let's move on to my future goals for writing. Okay, so once that's done, I actually have a few ideas. I don't know if I want to jump straight into Zofria's story, jump to my mystery thriller, jump to my fantasy, or do like a fan fiction just for fun. I'm leaning towards more of the fan fiction for now because I've been watching a lot of compilation videos of Degrassi. I think it's Brie Breezy. She does a lot of videos about Degrassi, like different characters that just kind of like have been disappeared, different relationships that ranking different relationships as like the best relationships and worst relationships, or even just talking about the characters in general and their not relatability, but like their character arcs and which ones are like the least likable characters. So she talks about Degrassi as a whole essentially, and I love her content, and it made me rewatch it again. I've seen every single aspect of Degrassi, not Degrassi Kids, but I've seen since Degrassi Junior High all the way up to Next Class on Netflix, and I've seen every single episode since I've seen every single episode at least 5 times. Like I'm a huge Degrassi nerd, a huge Degrassi fan, and just watching her videos, it made me think of a character that it doesn't. This character doesn't technically exist, but technically does exist. So I'm just gonna put it out there. JT and Liberty's son, because Liberty gives up her son for adoption. JT gets stabbed, so he's dead. Liberty goes off to college, and there was a huge discussion, and not even discussion, just huge like chaos around Next Class and the lack of there. Like I don't know if it was everybody, but it was just like a few people I've seen who talked about the fact that their child would have been a very interesting student to have in Next Class, because if you really think about it and uh understand the seasons as like every few months or so, or like a year roughly, it technically kind of lines up. Like JT and Liberty's son could have been part of Next Class. He could either have been a freshman, he could have had a repeat, he could repeat a grade or something like that, or just be like transferring. So I want to create a fan fiction story of JT and Liberty's son, because I feel like that was a completely missed opportunity for Degrassi, and I just want to really like I just want to create it myself of what I would have liked to see for this character. Like maybe slowly like find out who his parents actually are, because obviously he's adopted. I don't know if I want to write if he knew he was adopted or he doesn't know he's adopted. Maybe he's adopted by a black family or maybe an interracial couple at least, and he doesn't know that he's adopted because he looks somewhat similar to the siblings that he has, he looks somewhat similar to them because they have roughly the same skin tone. So he doesn't really think twice about it. So I'm thinking about doing that. And that would be like something cute, short and simple. Might put it like on AO3 or Wattpad, whatever. So yeah, that's one thing that I'm really thinking about. If you're interested in that, drop that in the comments below. Also, go ahead and drop in the comments if you watched Degrassi, because I don't know that many people who've watched Degrassi. And I need to find y'all because I need to talk about these characters. Like, I feel like there's no one else I can talk to about Degrassi because no one in my friend group has ever even heard of or watched Degrassi. My aunt used to watch Degrassi, but she stopped like just as she was like graduating high school because obviously she was, in that transition, so it wasn't anything of interest to her anymore. But I feel like after that, like after the next generation graduates, I feel like that's when shit really hit the fan with Claire, Eli, Darcy, Peter, Mia, like both of those generations combined. It was just absolute chaos. So yeah, I just really feel like talking about their son. I ranted a little bit more, but this is a chill video, so you have to just deal with it. Or I could start working on Zofria's story. I was about to say the friend's name. I don't wanna spoil it all that much. But you could have to know Zofria because Dahlia and Zofria are like this, like they're best friends. That's her only friend. So I feel like knowing Zofria is very important. It is going to be a dual POV, just like Leo and Dahlia is. I just don't want to give it away. But I'm thinking about getting into her story because I have a somewhat of an interesting idea for the beginning of it, at least. I'm a pantser. So I really just like start writing for the sake of writing because I'm just like, let's just get to the point of it. But yeah, I'm leaning more towards that. I'm leaning towards that one too. But then there's also my mystery book that I'm writing. This is gonna be a tough one because then for the mystery one, it's the main character. Her dad passes away, and she ends up going to the school that he attended. And things are weird because as she gets there, it's already the anniversary of a former student's birthday. She passed like a year before she got there, and the main character feels like drawn to figure out who killed this girl and all that good stuff. So it's obviously mystery thriller, who done it type of thing with a secret society tied to it. So there's also that story. But then there's also my fantasy story because I really want to get into Octavia's story. So main character's name is Octavia. And I've had this idea too for like 2.5, 3 years. I think it's actually 4 years now because this was back. No, not that far. It's when I was a tutor. So 2021. Okay, yeah. So almost 4 years essentially because it is 2025 now, but like in terms of months, it's still like 3 years and some months. Whatever. Anyway, the point is I want to get into that story too. Like these two ideas, so the fantasy and the mystery thriller along with Leo and Dahlia, I've had all three of those ideas like 3 years ago. Yeah, I have a bit of a problem, which is why I've been so focused on the one project to try to get it done. So then I can literally just go from one that is actually complete to actually planning out and writing the other ones. Problem is, I've started every single one of them. Some were more along than others. Like first project of Leo and Dahlia, the first rendition, it was more of like a novella. I was going too fast. I put this in Penzu because I use like the diary app sometimes, and I had it there, and I had started it. It wasn't good, obviously. And then I actually had started the mystery thriller one in a notebook, like literally on paper, and I was like writing that out, and I had about 10 pages written. And then at the same time, I had Octavia's story, my fantasy story, in a separate notebook that I had started, and I actually was like planning out the not even a magic system, because there's no magic really tied into it. What am I thinking about? The social class. I had like that element broken down of how I wanted to look in the story, and I actually had my friend and coworker at the time look it over. Like my brain was all over the place because each of these stories were like so fascinating to me, and I just kind of like just latched onto each of them, that nothing really got the attention that it deserved. So with Leo and Dahlia coming to an end at the end of this month, I really want to pinpoint and hone down on one of these options, because I can't trust myself to do it, to make that decision. I'm going to leave it up to you all. So I'm going to put it in my community tab. I'm going to put it on my threads. And I'm going to put it on my Instagram. And we'll see which one has the majority votes of the project that I'm going to work on. Because I don't trust myself. I feel like I trust y'all more. Even though like 6 or 7 people vote on my stuff or even like see my posts, I still trust y'all more because I can't pick. My brain's all over the place, and then I have like 15 other ideas in my black notebook. I think I showed you all my black notebook in my video. I think so. I think I did. In my things I'm using in 2025 video. Yeah, I have a lot of other ideas in there. I have even my notes has book ideas that were based off of my dreams. Like there's too many, so literally just trying to pick from the ones that I'm actively working on. I need your guys' help. So please, if you are literally watching this video, if this is your first time watching me, but you just want to be like, I'll just vote to see like which one that she's actually going to work on, please vote. I don't care if you're literally new to my channel, if you're literally just watching just for the sake of passing time and you don't really know who I am, that's completely fine. Please vote. I'm just putting it out there for anyone really. Just help me pick which one to write. I need your help. I really, really do need your help because my brain is I'm like literally losing my shit just thinking about what's gonna be next. God. Another thing I've been thinking about, I also want to start applying for like fellowships and writing grants and all that stuff. So that's another thing to think about because some of those grants and fellowships they require your work to be finished. So I only have one other story. No, not even one other story. I literally only have the one story completed, which is The Memories I Hold, which I have on Kindle Unlimited. That's the only one that's completed. And I feel like that isn't a good judgment of what I can write because that was in 2020. That was years ago. That was a messy time anyway. But I feel like for the fellowships and the writing grants, those are going to be a little bit tough to do because obviously competing with some amazing writers, but also my work is not. I don't have the portfolio. I wasn't writing for years on end and just really putting all my stuff in like a Google folder or anything like that. Like I really don't have anything. I mean, I have my old poetry from back in high school, but that's like in 2014. You know it's garbage. Like it's not good. I don't want to put that out in a contest. Like that's over 10 years old. Like it was the most cringiest time ever. I don't want to put that in there. So it's really just like me trying to figure out what I want to do for fellowships and writing grants, like what I want to write. Uh Maybe start doing some short stories, just like random short ones, just to like have something. I had a notebook and it gave like prompts for short stories. I threw it away because I wasn't really writing then. And then as soon as I threw it away, that's when I got all my book ideas. So it was a lot. But maybe just start writing some short stories, I think. And just like actually kind of like build a portfolio of my work. It's a lot. There's a lot of different things to consider when it comes to writing, because I'm also reading too. Like I have an arc I need to finish reading by like February 18th. There's just a lot of different stuff, and I'm trying to navigate it in the best way possible because I don't make money from this. This is purely just for for shits and giggles because I find it fun to read and I find it fun to try to make videos and become more confident on camera and talk to you guys. But I don't make money from this, so it's like, where do I prioritize certain things and what needs to be worked on, and just having the time management to do it because I will be starting up school shortly. As soon as I get freaking into the program and actually register for the class, because everything's been pushed back because the beginning of the year everybody just got back to campus. So I get once I get in my classes, that's a different thing too as well. There's just a lot of different components when it comes to me writing, what I want to write next, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to putting myself and my work out there even more. I feel like it's just like a little bit every day, but even then, that little bit every day, it's tiring sometimes too. I love it. It also drains me at the same time because as soon as I'm done, I'm like, I just want to watch a K drama. And even then, I don't even want to watch my K drama because that's reading the subtitles. Like, I don't even want to do that. I just want to sit and stare at a wall because I literally just threw a whole bunch of things at a wall. Hopefully, something sticks. And I'm really just like waiting for something to stay up there, like for something to work. It's pure and absolute chaos. And this is a long video. Well, semi long. It's about like 30 minutes or so, I think. I think so. So that's everything that I'm thinking about when it comes to my writing process and what I want to write next. So yeah, that's the end of this video. So if you like this video, be sure to like it, comment down below, anything really. I know I brought up a lot of different things. Um, but I will be creating a poll, so keep your eyes out for my community tab to see so you can vote for which work that you think I should work on first. Um, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. This was a very much like a rambling writing Wednesday video. There's a lot to it. I apologize. But yeah, and until next time, stay magical. Bye.